Hi guys, it's Diloshan here, and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Watch, where we dig into what's really happening in the GTA housing market. So let's talk about something that really caught my attention, the Toronto condo market. So you might have seen the headlines floating around. Only 53 pre-construction condos sold in September of 2025. For a city like Toronto, that's almost unheard of. What really surprised me even more, though, was that how many people were celebrating the headline. But here's the thing, the story doesn't even paint the full picture. So those 53 sales came only from pre-construction projects, not the resale market. And here's the thing, if we actually want housing to become more affordable in the long term, we need more condos being built, not fewer. Because when new projects don't sell today, it means fewer buildings getting completed 4 to 5 years down the road. And that's where the real supply problem starts. Now, today's market isn't bad, it's just very different. And I actually don't mind where the condo market is right now, because buyers finally have breathing room. And you don't have to rush into a decision or compete with a dozen other offers. You can actually take your time, add conditions, negotiate, and actually make a smart move. Sure, there are some sellers are taking a hit compared to what they paid for a few years ago. And yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's not just condos feeling it. Higher interest rates have changed the entire market. So you might be asking why the market slowed down. Well, let's break it down. It's actually pretty simple. Interest rate went up, inventory piled up, and investor demand dropped off. So in a nutshell, that's the whole story. Not long ago, investors made up almost half of condo buyers. And for pre-construction, it was almost all investor-driven. Now, most of them are sitting on the sidelines. And on the resale side, deals are still happening. About 1,000 condos sold in Toronto and another 500 units sold in the 905 region this past September. But when it comes to new construction, that's a market that's basically on pause. So here's where my concern really kicks in. Not only just for 2025 or 2026, but for 2030 and beyond. Because if developers can't sell at least 70% of their units up front, they can't even break ground. So when projects stall now, it means nothing new gets built for years to come. And fast forward a few years, today's extra inventory will eventually get absorbed, and when it's gone, we'll be right back to not enough supply. And it's the same cycle all over again. We swing from too much to too little, and that's when prices take off again. So we've already seen a record number of condo completions this year in 2025. Most of them were pre-sold years ago. And even with immigration policy changes, the GTA's population is still growing, which means housing demand isn't disappearing anytime soon. And the government is focused on purpose-built rentals, which is fine, but that doesn't help people who actually want to own. Because if pre-construction sales stay this low today, there simply won't be enough ownership options in the future. So what happens next? Well, I don't see the condo prices taking off anytime soon. Most likely, they'll stay flat or slightly softer over the next few years. But once that extra inventory gets absorbed and new projects stop coming online, we'll be right back to a supply shortage. And when that happens, prices will start to creep up again. So what's my final thoughts on this? Well, so if you're a condo owner thinking about selling, ask yourself, what's the plan for the money? Because unless you've got a stronger long-term strategy, it might make sense to ride out this cycle instead of selling it at a discount. And if you're a buyer, this is your window of opportunity. The market is finally rewarding patience, research, and smart negotiation. But what's your take on this? Do we actually learn from this cycle, or are we just setting ourselves up to repeat it again? And are we heading toward another supply crunch in the 2030s? Or has the condo market truly evolved this time around? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this is Real Estate Watch, and we're keeping a close eye on where the GTA market's really heading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.